Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Man, you do the Cuddle Party thing for Deli, but you don't say hi to me. What's up? Hang on here. There we go. All right, so I want to thank everybody for coming out. I'm really excited that the sun's shining now. Justin, when he invited me to come and speak again this year, asked me to talk about whatever I wanted, and then I'm like, Justin, what do you really want me to talk about? And it was Justin's suggestion to talk about, really quickly, relationship skill sets inside of multiple relationships. So triads, quads, and that was kind of, you know, what we tossed around on the phone call. So really quickly, because I only have a couple of minutes, I'll give you some quick thoughts I have around multiple relationships and actually making them more sustainable. And the big one in all relationships, because I do a lot of coaching with monogamous couples and single people, as well as poly and people in other alternative relationship styles, the big thing is to advise you and the people that you get in relationships with to actually practice saying what it is that you're not saying in relationships, which sounds kind of simple, and at the same time, for me personally and in the relationships that I'm in, can sometimes be this very, almost like, you know, if you want to go all spiritual and woo-woo with it, like it's kind of a spiritual practice, like to notice when it is that you're afraid to say something to your partner or partners, and actually sitting down and being like, hey, there's something here that I'm afraid to tell you, and I'd like to tell you. And to have that be something that you install in all of your relationships. And this is really important when you're having multiple relationships, because there's like 3 times or 2 times or 4 times as many people to not tell something to. Which quickly segues into my next tip for multiple relationships and making them sustainable, which is no matter, to the extent that you can, because you might have long distance relationships and can't get everybody in the same room, I really recommend that you at least a couple of times a year get all of your partners in the same room, even if they absolutely hate being in the same room with each other. Mostly because I think it's really healthy to actually have your other partners being able to interface with each other as like you're an actual human being. You are live, flesh and blood, and you're sitting across the table from me, even though I don't want to be here. And I think that makes it a lot easier in the long run than if you're having all these long distance relationships with these amorphous partners, you know, that you talk about but I've never really met them, and now my mind all of a sudden is making this person to be a lot more scary than I think. And I really do advise that you try to get everybody in the same room when you can, because I just think overall, especially if this microphone keeps dropping, especially, you know, over the years, if you're going to be in long distance relationships or long-term relationships with people, you know, get them to get to know each other a little bit. Even if it's not like they have to go out for dinner all the time, but that you're actually dealing with people, so that when you are having a problem with Mary or with Bill, your partner's actually like, yeah, okay, and I know who that person is. And I think that can go a long way to making your relationships more sustainable. And, you know, in today's technological age, maybe you can't get them all in the same room, but you can get them on Skype. You know, whatever you need to do to actually get people to be interacting with each other, I think in the long run is going to pay off in a big way. I look at my notes. Yeah, the other thing is, my really big tip is, if you've never bought the book, The 5 Love Languages, either go buy it and read it, or give it to your partner and then read it, or go check it out at the library. It's a really interesting book, and it's very simple, and it talks about how men and women and whatever gender you aspire to or identify with, that we all feel love or show that we care about people in 5 different categories, and understanding what the love languages are of your other partners so that you can more make them feel cared for and seen, I think makes relationships in general run a heck of a lot better. So go buy that book. I don't make any money from making that recommendation, by the way. But it's been really, really helpful for me, certainly, in the relationships that I'm having these days. And that's about 3 minutes, right? That's good? Do I have more time with Justin? More? More? Another tip? I look at my hands. Love languages, we said you have your group meetings. Oh, this is the other one. Have a conversation with your partners. And for those of you who have monogamous friends, this is important too. Figure out what it is about trust for yourself and how to rebuild it when it gets broken. Like actually write in a journal or on a piece of paper, this is what trust is to me. And if trust is broken, this is what somebody could do to rebuild trust for me. If you're gonna be in multiple relationships, and if you're gonna be in relationships that last more than a few hours, then I really recommend that you understand what trust is for you and how to rebuild it, and then teach your partners how to do that. If you're gonna be in sustainable relationships, at some point along the line, somebody's gonna screw up and break your trust, and you guys can get back on track a lot faster if and when you know how trust works for you, and you can teach your partners how to do that. Thank you.